I thought I heard you say, thought you said you missed me, but you only hissed me when I was gone. I thought I heard you say, they've done you in good, and yes, I believe they would. May I console you? Well, I did you no wrong. That's not like me, I did you no wrong. So don't put it all on me, and you are not the light of the world. Put your shine on me. No, you're not the light of the world. Put your shine on me. No, you're not the light of the world now. No, you're not the light of the world now. I heard you walk. I heard the blacks get all bad to hurt me, and yes, it's sad as it settled the score. I thought I heard you walk up the fire escape last night, and yes, in the deep of the night, I wished you were back. But I did you no wrong. That's not like me, I did you no wrong. So don't put it all on me, and you are not the light of the world. Put your shine on me. No, you're not the light of the world. Put your shine on me. No, you're not the light of the world now. No, you're not the light of the world now.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Head On RKO Radio with me, Jake. We're back on our usual Friday slot. We had our Fad Gadget special last week, but we're back to doing a regular show tonight. And to get us started, that was The Gun Club with the track The Light of the World from 1983 EP Death Party. Said it many times, the Gun Club, one of my all-time favourite bands. I never heard a lyricist like Jeffrey Lee Pierce, who can really sort of paint pictures in your mind, such a vivid lyricist, one of my favourite lyricists. And that EP, the Death Party EP, was actually between the Miami and it was after the Miami album and before the Las Vegas Story album, so in 1983 there. Also featured the track The House on Highland Avenue, one of my other all-time favourite Gun Club tracks. But I just wanted to start with The Light of the World because I don't often play that one out so much, and great track to start the show. So there we go, Gun Club with The Light of the World. And next we are going on a few years, 1985. We have Camper Van Beethoven with Take the Skinheads Bowling.
By exactly one. Everybody's coming home for lunch these days. Last night there were skinheads on my lawn. Take the skinheads bowling, take them bowling. Take the skinheads bowling, take them bowling. People say that bowling alley's got
big lanes.
Got big lanes. Got big lanes.
Some people say that bowling alleys all look the same.
Look the same. Look the same.
There's not a line that goes here that rhymes with anything.
Anything. Anything.
Had a dream last night, but I forget what it was.
What it was. What it was.
Take the skinheads bowling. Take them bowling. Take the skinheads bowling. Take them bowling. Had a dream last night about you, my friend. Had a dream I wanted to sleep next to plastic. Had a dream I wanted to lick your knees. Had a dream it was about nothing.
So that was Camper Van Beethoven with a track, Take the Skinheads Bowling, total classic from 1985, and their debut album, Telephone Free Landslide Victory. Bit of a, as I say, a bit of a classic from that period, sort of the US alternative scene, the college radio scene. Actually one that my dad got me into when I was very young. I just always remember hearing that when I was in the back of the car when I was a child, and always stuck with me, that track. One of my favourites from that period. The sort of mid-80s in America was a really fertile time for indie music. Obviously you had bands like Camper Van Beethoven, the Gun Club, as we've already played. You had R.E.M. making wonderful records in the early to mid-80s. Bands like Black Flag. It was just there was just so many of the replacements. So yeah, mid-80s was such a great scene, so that was great to play that. Camper Van Beethoven there. And next we're going back, way back in time, 1962, Bo Diddley with the track Mr. Khrushchev.
I think I want to go to the army. I think I want to go overseas. I want to see Khrushchev. I want to see him all by myself. Yeah, Khrushchev. Yeah, Khrushchev. Yeah, Khrushchev. Yeah, Khrushchev. He don't believe that water's wet. Stop those tests. JFK can't do it by itself. Come on, fellas, let's give him a little help. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev. As Americans understand, we got to unite and protect our land. We got to keep on alert to keep our families from getting hurt. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev. Six-wheel bus. My bald-head Khrushchev plotting on us. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev. Hey, Khrushchev.
So, Bo Diddley with the track Mr. Khrushchev from 1962 from his self-titled album. And I've said it before again, Bo Diddley, one of my favourite artists, certainly from that period. Always kind of gets lumped along with Chuck Berry and all that, but I always preferred Bo Diddley, I think. Just always had such a great beat in his tracks, and yeah, always absolutely adored Bo Diddley. As for Jesus and Mary Chain, called one of her songs, Bo Diddley is Jesus. Okay, so 1962 there, and we're going back along now, back to 2000 with King Biscuit time. We have the track I Walk the Earth.
When I walk through the earth, I get stuck in the middle. I can't see your love, I don't know your love. When I walk through the earth, I get stuck in the middle. I can't see your love, I don't know your love. Why won't you take me away? Take me today. Keep on rising higher. Why won't you take me away? Take me today. Keep on rising higher. Hey, not me, picking on your own reality. 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 When I walk through the earth, I get stuck in the middle. I can't see your love, I don't know your love. When I walk through the earth, I get stuck in the middle. I can't see your love, I don't know your love. Why won't you take me away? Take me today. Keep on rising higher. Why won't you take me away? Take me today. Keep on rising higher. Hey, not me, picking on your own reality. 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 Hey,
So that was I Walk the Earth by King Biscuit Time from the 2000 EP No Style. And King Biscuit Time is actually the alias of Steve Mason from the Beta Band. I think that if I'm not mistaken, 2000, I think that was the same time that the Beta Band released the 3 EPs. So yeah, Steve Mason, obviously from Fife in Scotland, was obviously doing other projects at the time. And I played that one actually for my old friend Chris, who I used to run the Egg with. Well, it was Chris's night, I helped him out really. Legendary club night in Edinburgh, and he used to like playing that track, I Walk the Earth. Usually at the start of the Egg, it was more of a down-tempo one, but got a great groove to it, a bit of a chug of that one. So that one's for Chris, thinking of you, and I hope everything's okay at this time. I know things are difficult, but I hope things are looking up. Okay, so next, 2013, we have Bizarre Feeling by Jamie Payton.
Bizarre Clean Feeling. Bizarre Clean Feeling. Bizarre Clean Feeling. Bizarre Clean Feeling.
Jamie Payton there with Bizarre Feeling from 2013. Something I stumbled across a few years ago, probably around that time actually. I remember finding it on some music blog online and thinking, wow, it sounds great. I mean, very New Order sounding, I think. Even got the word bizarre in there, you know. So, yeah, quite a New Order influence on that. But I think a really, really brilliant record there, and one that's always good to play out. Okay, next we are going to 1988 and we are going to Brazil. I think the first time we've been to Brazil on this show, and we have the band Harry with the song Genebra or Genebra. So that was the band Harry with the track Genebra, or as I say, Genebra, I'm not really sure. My Portuguese isn't really good enough to decipher that particular one. But yeah, that's from 1988 and the album Fairy Tales. A bit of Brazilian post-punk there. Sounds really fantastic. I remember hearing that a few years ago and completely forgotten about it. Just pretty full-on track and really catchy. Just a really great track there from Harry. I think it's about time I got that album, Fairy Tales. I've been meaning to for ages, just never got around to it. But yeah, I just remember hearing that song again now and just thinking, wow, it still sounds Absolutely brilliant. I think definitely worth getting hold of some more by Harry, I think. So as I say, Brazilian post-punk from 1988. And next, staying with a bit of a post-punk theme, we're going to 2002, Interpol, and the track Say Hello to the Angels. So it was Say Hello to the Angels by Interpol, their debut album from 2002, Turn on the Bright Lights. And I think the thing with Interpol was, I was very dismissive of them at the time. I just always just kind of said, oh, they're just a Joy Division tribute band. What's special? We're not doing anything new. They just go to bed every night thinking, please let us be Joy Division in the morning, kind of thing. And I just never really got it. I know all my friends in Manchester at the time were well into them, and for me, like I say, it was just too derivative of Joy Division. I just never did it for me. But then, I don't know, something just clicked a few years later, and I thought, well, actually, that is an absolutely brilliant album. I think my friend Andy, Vinyl Exchange, he was a big fan of that record, and I think it obviously just eventually ended up rubbing off on me, and it's an absolutely brilliant record, that the debut album, Turn on the Bright Lights. And the second album too, which I think it's called Antics, had the songs Slow Hands, Come Here, Evil were the big singles off that, and that was also a brilliant record. So fair play to Interpol. I got there in the end with them. It took me a bit of a while. By the time I got into them, I think everyone else had kind of moved on. But yeah, what a brilliant track that is from Interpol. And next we are going to, sometime in the early 2000s, I'm not quite sure. And we have the band Und with the song Revolution.
For you, BCY FT5, the electronic revolution, digitally replicated, castrated of the things, of the sound. If you come, if you find, if you come, if you find, if you come, if you find, if you come. BCT, big E of the T. 10 if you can, if you can. There are 7 billion people walking every time this even that you can. The revelation of the scene, you can, it's me, Tarian. This is the noise of the con.
So that was Revolution by UND, or UND. As I say, from the early 2000s, I'm not quite sure. Around 2003 or 4, I think. Now, UND were on the legendary Gigolo Records label, and I got that track. It was actually on a free, well, I don't know, it wasn't free, promo DVD. That Gigolo Records did, called Freak Show. It was like a documentary about Gigolo Records, and also had an amazing collection of videos on it as well. A video section which had Face to Face by the Twins, which is a big fan, a big favourite of my friend Arca from Cafe Nero, of course. Funny how life works out, you know. I've been playing that for a long time, come to Bari, and whoa, I've never heard anyone else play that track out before. There is Arca playing it. But that's a different story. We're talking about UND, who I think was a two-piece. The girl, I think, was Dutch. I think the guy was Italian. But the track, for me, that track, Revolution, is an absolute all-time favourite of mine. Honestly, I can't get enough of that song. I've heard it a million times. Something about it, I can't explain. I just love it so much. Also, the video is my all-time favourite music video of all time. So if you look for UND, Revolution, and Gigolo Records, you should be able to find it. Just, for me, an all-time favourite. A totally obscure, totally bizarre track. I'm not even totally sure what year it was released. But wow, for me, that song still does it for me. UND, Revolution. UND is the band, Revolution is the song, on the legendary Gigolo Records. Okay, next we are going to 2020, right up to date, in fact. And we have, with the song Toxic Eye, this is Choir Boy. So it was Choir Boy with the song Toxic Eye. I think that's just been released, I think in March. And the album, it's from the album Gathering Swans, which is actually due out in May 2020, so sometime next month. And that is actually my friend Kirsi, who is in Finland, Helsinki in Finland at the moment. She played that. I just found it on Facebook. Wow, what a great track. I have to play that on my show. As I say, a good thing from a lockdown, lots of people posting interesting music on Facebook I might not ever have heard before. So that one's for you, Kirsi, in Helsinki. I hope you and Pariday are okay. Miss you guys, and I really hope to see you back in Bari sometime soon. So, yeah, thanks for alerting me to that song, Kirsi. Really great track. I look forward to the album. Okay, and next we are going... Where are we going next? Okay, staying this year, 2020, with the track Loudness Wars, we have the Pineapple Chunk.
Your accidental nose sadly failed to rock my boat. The busy buzzing bees drown beneath the roaring sea. Every time we try to speak, I can feel our levels peaking. What was all the pressure for? No one won. The loudness was an ended in a draw. Right on the battlefield again. Pick up thy shield. In our gardens overgrown, in a sea of green that makes no sense. Even high upon the wall, the ringing tones all as intense. Now you've seen the midnight sun, don't it make you wanna come and stay until you die? Hanging gardens, Babylon, don't leave me hanging on too long. Suspended in the sky, right on the battlefield again. Pick up thy shield. Destination or journey, I think I'm done with this circle of hell. 'Cause the first one's often free, around the baggage handling carousel. From the comfort of ourselves, we map the globe in 80 years. Now I think we have the time. Ear of the dog upon page 9. It's all the dogs can hear. Right on
So it was Pineapple Chunks with the song Loudness Wars. That is a right hot off the press track. That was only mastered yesterday. My good friend James Metcalf from Edinburgh, that's his band, the Pineapple Chunks. And fantastic that they're putting out some new stuff. A really brilliant single, that. I really love that. Fits in with the show so well. And James Metcalf was a really good friend of mine in Edinburgh. I used to hang out with him a lot. He's got a lot of musical projects going on, always has done, in the very incestuous musical scene of Edinburgh, but really great to hear that. A really, really great track, and an absolute pleasure to play it on the show. And we'll look forward to the album, which will be due out fairly soon. Obviously, it's hard to say at this time with the lockdown, how this is affecting everything. But the Pineapple Chunks' new album, Warm Universe, will be out soon, and of course it will feature that track. So brilliant to hear that track. Fantastic stuff from the Pineapple Chunks. Okay, next, where are we going? Back to an old-time classic here. Jonah Louie, You Will Always Find Me in the Kitchen at Parties.
Chatting up and always get rebuffed. Enough to drive a man to drink. I don't do no washing up. I always leave the stuff piled up in the sink.
But you will always find him in the kitchen at parties.
Me and my girlfriend, we argued and she ran away from home. She must have found somebody new and now I'm all alone, living on my own. What am I supposed to do?
That's why you'll always find him in the kitchen at parties. You will always find him in the kitchen at parties. You will always find him in the kitchen at parties.
Then I met this debutante, I said I like you, a bra. She was into French cuisine, but I ain't no cordon bleu. This was at some do in Palmer's Green. I had no luck with her.
You will still find him in the kitchen at parties. You will still find him in the kitchen at parties.
At last I met a pretty girl, she laughed and talked with me. We both walked out of the kitchen and danced in a new way. And now I've done my time in the kitchen at parties. I've done my time in the kitchen at parties.
Done his time in the kitchen at parties. He's done his time in the kitchen at parties. He's done his time in the kitchen at parties.
So it was Jonah Louie with the single You'll Always Find Me in the Kitchen at Parties from 1978. I think he's always been a bit dismissed as a bit of a novelty act. I think everyone knows him for his big famous Christmas song. But I think that's a really great single, that You'll Always Find Me in the Kitchen at Parties. Always did it for me. I think it's a really great single. I love the synth sound it has, the keyboard. It's just got a bit of a groove to it, quite a dark sound in it as well. And yeah, I love that single. Make no apologies for playing that one. Absolutely brilliant track. Okay, you've been listening to Head On. Thanks for listening. Just a few details before we go. If you want to contact RKO Radio, you can on WhatsApp 3516776164. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, or the website rkonair.com. So the last thing for me to do is to wish you all a happy weekend, and to finish we have the wedding present with the single from 1986, You Should Always Keep in Touch with Your Friends. Perhaps a moral for these times. We should also always stay in touch with our friends when it's difficult to see each other. Thank you for listening, everyone, and I'll leave you with the wedding present. Goodbye.
Walking home, we fled across the fields until we were alone, to a bridge that stood close by the sea. The day that we spent there is ours eternally. I don't have to tell you, I'm sure you understand. The person lay beside me made me what I am. Oh, she made me what I am. A smile in these ungrateful times.